my absolutely beautiful Virgo friends, and welcome to your horoscope for October 2021. We're Virgo this month. It's actually really neat because we have got planets just running out of retrograde. We've got Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, and Mercury all coming out of retrograde this month. So it's definitely an energetic month where we're going to see some shifts of direction, and that means that we can use October to be getting prepared and ready to launch forward as we get into November. So all of these things you've been working on, you've been getting prepared, the lessons you've been going back over, now we can start to see some real beautiful resolution as we come forward and get into that November time frame. Now we are also here in October coming into this 4 to 6 week time frame right before the eclipse happens. So keep that in mind, that if you're starting to energetically feel some shift, or you're feeling like, ooh, what is going on? I'm feeling like these Taurus areas of my chart are changing. What's happening? Just keep in mind we are in the time zone right before the eclipse is going to hit in November, so we'll start to feel that pull. Now, as we come into October, your ruling planet Virgo is still in retrograde. Mercury is going to stay in retrograde until the 18th. And then remember, it has to get out of that post-retrograde shadow time, and that won't happen until November 2nd. But when it does come out of retrograde, we do get the blessings of some forward motion. Mercury's not facing backwards anymore, illusionally, but we will still need to wait for the full cycle to complete before it's all said and done. So I just want you to keep that in mind this month, okay? If you don't want to stick around for a whole breakdown with visuals and everything of the chart, and you're looking for something quicker to the point about your sign, your rising sign, you can check out the shorts, and I'll make sure there's a link here, and also videos will pop up at the end, or you can just check the playlist for the October shorts, okay? All right, Virgo, let's get in here and see what is going on. So first of all, right at the beginning of the month on the 6th, I want you to circle this on your calendar because it is a busy, energetic day. Now, first of all, we're going to have a new moon happening in the energy of Libra, which is going to light up your second house space just right next door. At the new moon, we're planting our seeds of intention to begin something, give it a fresh start. I want to project something in this area of my life out into the world, and I want it to come back and be successful for me. So the second house is about finance. Finance, how you make money, the money that you have and what you're doing with those particular resources. It's also about your values, your value system, your beliefs around money, around how you make money, what makes you valuable, right? Your self-esteem lives in the second house. And keep in mind, remember Virgo, it's self-esteem. So if you are getting your esteem from work, if you are getting your esteem from what other people think about you, this is the wrong alignment of esteem. So make sure you check in with this. Libra is about bringing the balance to the table, right? We're looking for what is actually going to balance out this area. Now, the other thing that Libra does brilliantly is partner. It joints up in some way, shape, or form. So you could be making joint connections at this 13 degrees of Libra out in the world with how you make money. Are you joining a contract? Are you ready to put your work out into the world in some way, shape, or form? Are you getting some coaching on investments? What's happening around your money that really is about bringing the value and bringing the balance to the table? Now, this moon is in conjunction with Mars and quincunx to Uranus. So there's definitely some motion here to get it going over this next 4 weeks, even if you're not absolutely crystal clear on how to get it done. Plant those seeds of intention to bring that new relationship into your life around money, okay? Now, also on the same day, we will see Pluto coming out of retrograde. So Pluto comes direct at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So this lights up your 5th house space. Now, if you haven't watched my video on Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn coming out of retrograde, please check it out, okay? And I'll also make sure it pops up at the end. But as Pluto comes out of retrograde in the 5th house, first of all, it's not new. Pluto has been in Capricorn for years at this point, not for 4 years. It has been there for 8 years. So you've had some time to be working with this Plutonian energy and the structures that come with your Capricorn energy in the 5th house. Now, for some of you, with Pluto here in the 5th house, you know, in this last 8 years, you bought homes, you started your own businesses, you had babies, or you became parents in some way, shape, or form, right? There was a tear down to what did exist in this area of your life, and something else has blossomed there. In the 5th house, we're talking about children. We're talking about you as a child and how you are changing in relation to your parents and your family. It's also about hobbies. And they're not just hobbies that we love and we enjoy. Yes, they bring an enjoyment to us, but usually we're going to try to actualize them out in the world in some way, shape, or form. So, are you taking that creative talent that you have for self-expression, very mercurial, and putting that out in the world? I mean, we just had a new moon in your money house. Are you going to try to make money with that in some way, shape, or form? Are there investments, stocks, anything that has to do with taking a risk that you're willing to put out there? Other things I think for some of our Virgo friends out there is that Pluto, because it says you have to adapt or die, you grow or you go. In the 5th house, if you've had different ideas around romance, about what you even wanted in a romantic partner, things around education, I even think fall into this arena as well. Pluto has super been changing this area for you, changing your ideals about all of that and giving you a brand new arrangement. So as Pluto is direct, you've had time to review some of these lessons, and now Pluto will push forward, and hopefully you've been working on it and making those changes, okay? On the 7th, we're going to see Venus move into the energy of Sagittarius, which lights up your 4th house zone all the way until November 5th. Venus in the energy of Sagittarius, first of all, gets very adventurous. I want to broaden my horizon. I want to expand. So for some people, I do think that Venus moving into this space looks like maybe you're pregnant. Maybe your house is expanding in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's time for all of the the younger version of you things to move out of the house, and you've got a different taste, and maybe it's a little bit more eclectic than you thought. It broadens your horizons. I also think that Venus in this particular position is phenomenal if you are in a position where you are buying real estate, land, property, any of those kinds of things. Venus will bring a really nice relation and harmony to it as well. And I do think if you are looking for housing in foreign lands, like you want to have a house here, you want to have a summer house someplace else, or you're looking to make a move, Venus is very helpful in this particular position. But the other thing that Venus does in the 4th house space is I think it allows you, or it helps you anyways, to rearrange some of the ideals and beliefs and practices and optimism and level of faith that's actually in your physical home. What are the philosophies that guide your home? Do you have a mission statement for your home and for your family? What are you working towards every day? I think these are great questions. These could also come down to what's the religion that's governing your household and things like that. So you could certainly see that. For a couple people, you could definitely have parents or other family members, like they're flying in and they're coming to stay with you for some reason. So if you've got something like that, something higher education or foreign land coming into your home, this would definitely be something we'd see under this energy. Now, on the 10th, we're going to see Saturn come out of retrograde at 6 degrees of Aquarius. This, of course, will light up your 6th house space. Saturn out of retrograde, you've been working on these lessons, the things that haven't been working in your daily routine, you have been getting rid of. And this includes friends, social groups, social media things, long-range goals, plans, and designs. If you've had to have a rearrangement from last March, check in again in December, all the way until now, people, places, and things that don't work anymore or that you can't hold the maturity level to rock with are going to have been cleared out. Now at this point, you get to move forward with a different vibration, a different level of maturity, a different set of accolades even behind you to move this area forward. So maybe you leveled up and you took on some different projects as a freelancer. Did you make some peace maybe with those coworkers? What's different in your daily routine that's taken you to that next level? One of the things I talked about is you had this Pluto retrograde coming direct in your 5th house. Did you have baby? Did you give birth to a project? Did you start sharing your voice in a different way? And this has literally shifted the vibe of your entire daily routine. Whatever it is, your health and wellness has been under Saturnian eyes, and hopefully we've leveled up in this area. On the 18th, busy day again. Circle it on the calendar. Jupiter is coming direct in the energy of Aquarius at 22 degrees, and Mercury is coming out of retrograde in the energy of Libra at 10 degrees. Okay, so Jupiter coming out of retrograde in Aquarius, again in the sixth house space. So Jupiter's been helping, bringing you the teachers, bringing you wisdom, and not every experience has been comfortable. Some of them have been uncomfortable. That's how you gain wisdom, is through experience, right? So Jupiter has been expanding or pushing out in your daily routine. So one of the things I think of in Aquarius for you, Virgo, is, have you been writing, speaking, teaching, sharing information in some kind of public way? And now Jupiter will really help to expand that a little bit more, so that your target audience or that your target direction can be found, so that you can move in that direction. And it may be really different, maybe a completely different social group than you were rocking with before in this last couple years, but Jupiter is going to help present those opportunities at this time. You just need to take advantage. Now, Mercury coming out of retrograde at that 10 degrees of Libra is, of course, in the second house. So you planted your seeds of intention at the beginning of the month in this particular area, right? And Mercury was retrograde at that time. So you were probably looking back at a way to make money, at a self-esteem that you felt like you wanted to develop or you wanted to bring forward, maybe even a relationship in your life that had value. And now, as Mercury is out of retrograde, all of those seeds of intention that you planted to bring that forward and create a newness become available. Also, Mercury out of retrograde, sign those contracts, do all of the things that you needed to do, make those decisions, make those purchases. I think it's best if you can give Mercury a couple days to get flipped around to get back in its orbit. But as of the 18th, we do have that forward direction, okay? On the 20th, we've got a full moon happening in the energy of Aries, which will light up your 8th house space. The full moon says something needs to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted. So here in the energy of Aries, in the 8th house, it's about joint resources, joint connection, intimacy, reproduction, your reproduction organs, healing, anything that has to do with detox, waste, right? Like, are you being wasteful in your life? And at this full moon, you're taking a look at that because the lights are completely on. And Aries is not just the warrior, but also the sacred gardener. So here at this full moon, you could see something in your life coming to a culmination that you're actually ending, detoxing, letting go, changing in some way so that it can grow and it can bloom. And you're going to have all of the light and all of the information and that knowing, that sense of aligned knowing where you need to be Aries about it. Take that action, initiate, allow something to push forward and help it along, right? It's a very Martian kind of energy. Now, if there are conflicts that need to happen, in conflict, I want to be clear, there could just be conflict where you have to have it out with somebody, or you have to really kind of come to the table a little bit more in that warrior status. But also when we do things like giving birth, this is a state of not necessarily conflict, but it is going to push a detox. We are going to detox and push that person out of our body, or we will have them come out of our body. Not every person comes in a vaginal delivery, right? People can come in terms of C-section, and then we see the Aries, we see Mars cutting, right? We see that surgical energy. And this can be the same around anything you have a joint resource. Do you have to cut? Do you have to get in? Do you have to dig into something to get the information and give it an opportunity to be birthed in a different way? Whatever it is, just know a little bit of your initiation is going to be happening behind that. Now, on the 23rd, we see the sun moving into the energy of Scorpio, and on the 30th, we see Mars moving into the energy of Scorpio. So both of these energies are going to light up your third house space. The sun until November 21st, and Mars all the way until December 13th, okay? So both of these energies landing in your third house space, the house of writing, teaching, education. I'm talking lower education, so anything from kindergarten all the way until high school will fall into this particular arena. But also writing. Are you writing that book, writing that manuscript, blogging, things that have to do with siblings, neighbors, buying, selling houses, cars? Any of those things are going to fall into this third house space. And if you are thinking, Virgo, yeah, I want to put out a website, or I want to submit my resume for a job interview, something like that, this is going to be energy with the sun and Mars here that you can use to launch that forward. And you'll also be motivated to do so because the sun's bringing that light, heat, life, and vitality, and Mars, very comfortable in the energy of Scorpio, is going to help you take the action to get it done. I also think if you are writing or you're doing anything from this third house, Mars in Scorpio, you're going to be writing from a deeper place. You're having conversations and discussions from a much deeper place. It's very scorpionic energy. It's about healing. So if there are conversations that you needed to initiate within your networks or anything like that, that are a little bit more about healing or exposing things, this would be a great energy to get that done as well. All right, my beautiful Virgo friends, I hope you have a gorgeous month. I look forward to seeing what's happening and what's panning out for you. Please let me know how this is manifesting. 2 videos are going to pop up, and those are the best places for you to go next to keep the information coming so you can understand how to use it, all right? Okay, beautiful friends, have a great month. Bye.